Imagine, if you will, two people waking up on opposite sides of the Atlantic. Our first subject is Javier, who lives in a sun-drenched apartment in Seville, Spain. He stirs as a sliver of warm golden light pushes through his shutters, painting a stripe across the terracotta floor. The air is already balmy, carrying the faint, sweet scent of jasmine from a neighbor's balcony. He shuffles to the kitchen, makes a strong, short coffee, and knows his day will be governed by the sun. Now let's hop across the pond to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Brenda is being roused not by gentle sunlight, but by the aggressive, almost apologetic beeping of her alarm clock in a room that is still pitch black. It is 5:30 in the morning, and the world outside is a frozen, silent tableau. She squints at her phone not for the time but for the weather forecast. It says minus 22 degrees Celsius with a wind chill that makes it feel like something from a distant, inhospitable planet. Her day is not a dance, it is a battle plan. Thermal underwear, a car that needs to be started 10 minutes before she can even think about leaving, and a commute that could be anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how much frozen water has fallen from the sky overnight. These two scenes, played out daily, are more than just a difference in temperature. They are a profound illustration of how deeply and relentlessly the weather choreographs our existence. It's the invisible director of our daily lives, telling us when to wake, telling us what to wear, telling us how to travel, and even what to eat. From the architecture of our homes to the small talk we make with strangers, weather is the silent partner in everything we do. Our friend Javier in Spain will likely spend his evening outdoors, sipping a cool drink at a crowded plaza, the air still pleasant long after sunset. Brenda, on the other hand, will probably end her day tucked inside, the furnace humming a tune of defiance against the bitter cold. In the grand theater of work and daily routine, weather isn't just a bit player. It's the stage manager, the lighting director, and occasionally the disruptive diva who brings the whole production to a screeching halt. In much of America, particularly in its sprawling suburbs and heartland, the daily commute is an epic saga starring the private automobile. This reliance becomes a high-stakes drama when the weather turns foul. A few inches of snow in a city like Chicago or Denver can transform a manageable 45-minute drive into a 3-hour crawl, a slow-motion ballet of brake lights and frayed nerves. Businesses watch the weather forecast with the intensity of military strategists, knowing that a blizzard can cripple productivity for days. Contrast this with many parts of Europe, where life is often more concentrated and public transport is not just an option, but the default. In Copenhagen, for instance, a city famous for its cycling culture, thousands of Danes pedal to work, rain or shine, clad in impressively waterproof gear. Their relationship with the weather is one of gritty acceptance rather than outright conflict. The very structure of the workday can bend to the climate's will. The Mediterranean concept of the siesta is a perfect example. It's not born of laziness, as some northern stereotypes might suggest, but of sheer, unassailable logic. Work resumes in the cooler, more productive hours of the late afternoon and evening. If you want to understand a culture, a good place to start is its kitchen. And what you find in that kitchen is almost entirely decided by the climate outside its window. The American barbecue is a cultural institution, a sacred ritual of summer. It's a celebration of sunshine and warmth, long, lazy weekends, suburban backyards, weather that makes cooking indoors feel like a punishment. The menu is hearty: burgers, ribs, corn on the cob, foods that speak of abundance, and a climate that can support vast fields of grain and grazing cattle. Fly across the Atlantic to the Mediterranean, and the dinner table tells a different story. Here, the cuisine is a testament to what can be coaxed from sun-baked, often arid land. Think of a Greek salad: ripe tomatoes, crisp cucumber, sharp onions, salty feta, all drizzled with olive oil. It's not just a dish, it's a reflection of the climate itself. Light, refreshing, and made from ingredients that thrive in relentless sunshine and mild winters. Seasonal eating is a concept that has become trendy in America, a conscious choice for the health-conscious consumer. But in many parts of Europe, it was never a trend. It was simply a fact of life for centuries. You ate asparagus in the spring, berries in the summer, and root vegetables in the winter because that was what was available. The local market was the truest calendar, its stalls changing color and character with the passing months. This climatic influence even shapes our vices. The famous wine regions of the world, Bordeaux in France, Tuscany in Italy, Napa Valley in California, are all products of very specific meteorological conditions. So the next time you raise a glass, remember, you're not just tasting a drink, you're tasting a landscape, a year's worth of weather captured in a bottle. The silent, ever-present influence of weather is perhaps nowhere more evident than in the very structures we call home. American housing, especially in the sunnier, hotter parts of the country, is a testament to the nation's affair with air conditioning. The sprawling ranch-style homes of Arizona, the grand houses of the Texan suburbs, are often designed with the assumption that a powerful central air system will be running for months on end. Large windows might face the sun, insulation might be less of a priority than square footage, because technology is expected to conquer the climate. In Europe, the approach to comfortable living has historically been quite different, shaped by centuries of needing to conserve heat rather than manufacture cold. Think of a traditional Dutch townhouse or a Parisian apartment. They are often compact, with thick walls and smaller windows designed to keep the precious warmth in during the damp, chilly winters. Central air conditioning is a relative rarity, often viewed as an unnecessary luxury. Instead of fighting the heat with technology, Europeans have traditionally adapted to it. Shutters are closed during the day to keep rooms cool. Life moves to shaded courtyards or balconies in the evening. The architecture itself is a form of passive climate control. This difference in philosophy is born from both history and necessity. America's post-war boom coincided with the rise of affordable energy, leading to a belief that any climate could be made comfortable with enough power. Homes spread out, insulation standards were sometimes lax. The solution was simply to turn up the thermostat or crank down the AC. In Europe, where energy has long been more expensive and cities are far more dense, the focus has always been on conservation and efficient design. Our houses are more than just shelters. They are architectural fossils, preserving the story of our long and intricate relationship with the weather around us. The way we move from one place to another is profoundly shaped by the weather, dictating not just our choice of vehicle, but the very infrastructure of our societies. In the United States, a nation built around the automobile, transportation is a constant negotiation with the elements. The country's vastness means that for many, driving is the only option, making them vulnerable to weather-related disruptions. A sudden ice storm in Atlanta can bring the city to a standstill, while a derecho wind event in the Midwest can topple trucks and make highways impassable. The national obsession with SUVs, four-wheel drive vehicles, is in part a response to this reality, an attempt to purchase a sense of security against unpredictable and often harsh conditions. Conversely, many European cities have embraced a multimodal approach to transport, one that is inherently more resilient and adaptable. The extensive and reliable train networks that crisscross the continent are a prime example. A heavy snowfall can still cause delays, but trains are generally more robust than highways. In cities like Amsterdam or Berlin, the seamless integration of trams, buses, subways, bike lanes gives citizens a portfolio of options. If it's raining too hard to cycle, you take the tram. This flexibility is a form of collective adaptation, a system designed to keep moving regardless of the forecast. It's a subtle difference, but one that underscores how our daily journeys, steered by the invisible hand of weather, can shape our connection to the world and the people in it. Fashion is often seen as a flight of fancy, an expression of personal taste and fleeting trends. But beneath the surface of style lies a bedrock of practicality, and that practicality is dictated almost entirely by the weather. The art of layering is a quintessential European skill, born from climates where the weather can offer you 3 different seasons before lunchtime. A Londoner might leave home in the morning wearing a t-shirt, a jumper, and a trench coat, ready to peel off or pile on layers as the famously fickle British sky delivers sunshine, showers, and a brisk wind all in the space of a few hours. This is not high fashion, it is survival strategy, a sartorial toolkit for meteorological uncertainty. In America, with its more continental climate of extremes, fashion choices are often more binary. There are coat seasons and short seasons, with less ambiguity in between. In the sweltering humidity of a Florida summer, the uniform is shorts, sandals, and the lightest possible fabric. Anything more would be an act of madness. Conversely, during a Chicago winter, the primary fashion statement is the puffer coat, a garment so insulated it makes its wearer look like the Michelin Man. This climatic influence extends beyond daily wear into the realm of iconic garments. The Scottish kilt, made of heavy, warm wool, was perfectly suited to the damp, cool, and changeable weather of the Highlands. The American cowboy's wide-brimmed hat wasn't just for show. It was essential for providing shade from the relentless sun on the open plains. Beyond the practicalities of food and shelter, weather seeps into the very soul of a culture, shaping its traditions, festivals, and collective mood. Many of Europe's most cherished celebrations are deeply rooted in the turning of the seasons, a legacy of ancient pagan and agricultural societies. Midsummer in Sweden is a joyous, almost frantic celebration of the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. After a long, dark, and punishingly cold winter, the arrival of near-endless daylight is cause for a national party. Flower crowns dancing around a maypole, copious amounts of pickled herring. In America, traditions are often tied less to the ancient turning of the seasons and more to the shared national experience, yet weather still plays a crucial role. The 4th of July is the quintessential American summer holiday. Fireworks, parades, backyard barbecues. It's a holiday designed to be spent outdoors, a national block party under a summer sky. Similarly, Thanksgiving, held in late autumn, has become the ultimate indoor holiday. Harvest and home family gathering inside as the weather turns colder, a celebration of warmth, family, and a ridiculously oversized turkey. The climate even influences our national character and temperament. The stereotype of the sunny, laid-back Mediterranean personality versus the more reserved, stoic Northern European. This can be seen in the very art and literature a culture produces. Every corner of the world has its own brand of meteorological fury, and how societies prepare for and respond to these extreme events is perhaps the most dramatic illustration of weather's power. The American experience with extreme weather is often a story of violent, large-scale phenomena. The Gulf Coast, Atlantic seaboard, live under the constant shadow of hurricane season. Katrina, Sandy, the response is a massive coordinated effort. Sophisticated forecasting, mass evacuations, FEMA and relief organizations. Further inland, Tornado Alley. The clash of air masses brews the planet's most violent storms, storm cellars, tornado sirens a part of everyday life. Europe, by and large, is spared the sheer scale and violence of hurricanes and major tornadoes. Its extreme weather tends to be more varied, though no less dangerous. In recent years, the continent has been grappling with increasingly severe heat waves, a phenomenon that its cities and populations are often ill-equipped to handle. London, Paris, the record-breaking temperatures are not just uncomfortable, they are deadly, particularly in a region where air conditioning is not widespread. In hurricane-prone areas of the United States, a hurricane party is a strange but common tradition, a display of defiant camaraderie in the face of the storm. People stock up, water, batteries, beer, snacks, gathering with neighbors to ride it out together. As we have seen, weather is so much more than a topic for polite, inconsequential small talk. It is a powerful, persistent, and deeply influential force, an invisible hand that quietly guides the trajectory of our lives, our cultures, and our societies. It is the reason a Spaniard takes a siesta. It is the reason a Minnesotan plugs in their car's block heater. It is the reason a Dane cycles through the rain. It is the reason a Texan blasts the air conditioning. From the food on our plates, to the roofs over our heads, from the clothes we wear, to the traditions we cherish. The climate is an uncredited co-author of our human story. We have molded our existence around its whims, developing architectural styles, transportation systems, culinary traditions. We have built sprawling suburbs in America with the assumption of cheap energy to tame the elements. Dense, walkable cities in Europe that encourage a more direct engagement with the weather. These two great Western cultures have been pushed down different paths by the simple, inescapable facts of sunshine, rain, heat, cold. This silent governance of our lives is a profound thing to consider. It suggests many cultural choices are rooted in something far more elemental. We are creatures of our environment, adapted to the meteorological niche we inhabit. Weather doesn't just shape the skies, it shapes entire societies. Which lifestyle would you choose? Comment below.